You're my first love. You're my first
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the preview stream for the 9th round of the 2015 CRC World Championship. I'm hoping to have James with me in a moment. I've asked him if he's able to join me. Not had a response yet, but I'm presuming he'll be online in a moment. But it's that time of year. It's Silverstone this weekend, which plays host to the 9th round of the 2015 CRC World Championship. And I think it could be an interesting race this weekend, especially with the championship battle hotting up. First, 3 days ago, CRC was in Valencia for round 8. And now I'm just going to take, before we go into, just going to take you through the story of that race. Wood Essie had to start in 20th as a result of a technical hitch in qualifying, which meant Alex Moore's got pole. He led away. Essie started to charge his way through the field, but then Essie hit the back of Tom Mungle. Just like in Turkey, he hit the back of another car and lost his front wing, and that ruined his race. And Alex Moore went on to absolutely dominate the race and take the win. But the interesting thing is, Wood Essie only received a 10th-place grid penalty. I haven't actually asked the stewards what the difference is between the other incidents that received back of grid penalties, but he only received a 10th-place grid penalty, which means that we should expect him to be starting around 11th or 12th this Sunday. But I'm just going to call James just to see if he's available. Seeing if he's available for this at the moment. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he is. Hopefully he'll be on in a minute. Just going to see. Just seeing if James is going to come on in a minute, but it's going to be an interesting race, I think, because I haven't even seen what the tyre life expectancy actually officially is, which I'm going to have a look at now whilst this preview stream is happening, judging by the test with the AI cars that the league has done, which they do just to make sure the teams know the tyre life expectancy. Which I'm just waiting for now. And it should be important now. I should be able to import it into the VRL sim racing. Let's see what the tyre life expectancy is. And I think we might be just able to manage a 2-stop this weekend, which surprises me. I'm not really sure what to make of that, because I think it's going to be I think it could be quite an interesting race. Yeah, I think we should be on for a 2-stop race. Which really I think is going to be exciting. Just going to make sure I'm looking at the right replay that I was talking about. But I can see us expecting some rain this weekend, but the interesting thing is the weather looks like it's going to be unusually sunny this weekend at Silverstone, which is kind of unusual for the British climate, because obviously the British weather, we'd expect rain, so I'm just concentrating on this replay, but just wondering if James is going to come on in a minute. Just need to have a look at this. I'm looking forward to this weekend's race though, because I think we could see some action. But obviously this is going to be very new for this year. But we are expecting a two stop race, which is interesting, which is not really what I was expecting. Now, because I was expecting us to see the tyres to be quite wary. But it looks like it is a two-stop race that we are going to expect. So that it's going to be interesting, because will some drivers, I think we could actually have a situation where some drivers push their tyres too hard and then eventually it goes to a 3-stop. They have to change on to a 3-stop. And actually the interesting thing is, the most likely to do that is the Yanata Rokas, because they have so much power on their car. They have so much power. They have so much power. They could just burn out their rear tyres, which could really cause a problem. But we should expect Yanata Roka to have a very strong advantage this weekend. But now I'm actually going to take you through the standings, and as a result of Essie failing to score and Alex Moores taking the win in Valencia, it really did have a massive effect on the drivers' standings. At the moment, it's only a 3-point gap between Essie and Alex. And the interesting thing is I'm actually starting to wonder whether Essie is starting to lose his advantage that he had earlier in the year. The advantage that he had. Because he was so strong in the first part of the season, from like Australia to China. He was so strong. But then he's just lost it since, hasn't he? Which has to be said. He's just lost it. I'm sure at Silverstone he is going to be desperate to strike back. But we know this is a track that he's good at fighting his way to the field. From 17th in 2012, he won this race. We know he is good round Silverstone. I mean, 2013 and 2014, I believe he retired through no fault of his own. But 2012, he won the race, and actually last year he got pole as well. So I think this is an opportunity for Will to gain some points back on his teammate. But in terms of result, we should really realistically expecting a Yanasa Roka 1-2. I think this could easily be Yanasa Roka's, in terms of pace, the strongest advantage Yanasa Roka has had so far this year. Because so much power and so much acceleration involved, and that's really where off onto the straight. And that's like, say that going off of the loop onto the Wellington straight and going off of Beckett's onto the Hangar straight. That is where those parts are where the Yanasa Roka can be really strong. And also going off Luffield onto the National Pit Straight. That is where I think Yanasa Roka are really strong. And that is where what could I actually can see Yanasa Roka's advantage being up to 8/10 this weekend. I'm actually going to go through this. That is providing it rains, of course. Going to go through this team by team regarding who should be quick. Dork, I think I'm really not sure about where they're going to be in the pecking order. They seem to be they seem to be really close with Masterforce on tracks like this. So I think best of the rest could be an interesting battle. The battle for third this weekend could be very interesting between the Dorks and the Masterforces, because they obviously have a car. They're both works teams. They have a car that is very similar on pace. So I think they might have a fight on their hands. Masterforce had a really strong season because they came in, you have to say, they came in last year and now here they are fighting with Dork. And actually ahead of teams such as Coombs GP. Obviously they still have quite, both them and Dork still have quite a way to go if they want to catch up with Yanasa Roka. Next up, Baranasso. I'm not sure how strong they're going to be. I think this track is that kind of a weak point for the Baranasso car. So I'm not really... They might come strong in the race, but I'm not really expecting to see a Baranasso in Q3 on Saturday. I think Baranasso might struggle this weekend. Now let's talk about Coombs GP. They have looked... They seem to be in a bit better situation than Baranasso, but they seem to struggle in qualifying. So I think they'll be kind of the usual Coombs GP will. Like, kind of qualifying towards the back end of the top 10. But in the race, coming strong.
Okay, upstairs, you two.
In the race, they come to fight for podiums. Because Coombs GP really have... they've definitely gone backwards. They've definitely gone backwards this year, Coombs GP have, but they just have they always just come really strong in the races. I'm doing this looking at the driver standings. RTS, I think they could be reasonable this weekend. I'm not sure where they're going to be, but they're probably, I'd say, fighting on the edge of the points, maybe with Baranasso in qualifying, maybe if they're lucky to have a car into Q3. So I think that's their expectations. Tove, I think kind of similar to the usual really, where we've had to become used to them seeing this year, because it's been quite a bit of getting used to adjusting from them being a backmarker team last year. And now, here they are fighting like in the midfield, like consistently getting points. Tom Mungle doing a very good job in 15th place in the standings. And getting a 4th place in Malaysia as well. They didn't manage to score any points in Valencia, but I think they could be in amongst the midfield battle where we've got accustomed to seeing them. Guindana, I In terms of pace, they should almost be around where Dork and Masterforce are. They just need to get some luck. They just haven't had any luck this year, Gindana have. They've had a terrible year so far. I mean, the fact that Kieran Hardy's only been in the points twice, he's had so many retirements. Has Kieran. For example, Australia, he didn't score in Malaysia, he retired in Bahrain, I think he retired in Turkey, he retired in Monaco, retired in Canada. So I think he's got like 5 retirements so far this year. As Hardy, he's just not really had a very good year so far. Despite the fact that the car has been quick and consistently fighting for points. D-Man Engineering. Obviously, it's Blakemore's last race in his 2-race comeback. We should expect them maybe to be, because I think it's this type of track where they're a bit quicker. So I think maybe we could expect a D-Man into Q3, maybe. So I can see that happening. Probably in the hands of Quintanilla. I'm actually just going to talk about Quintanilla for a moment. Easily driver of the day in Valencia. He drove so well in Valencia in an uncompetitive car in comparison to the cars he was fighting against. And he was able to pass the likes of Hannah Duran. And for someone in that car to pass a driver who we've been used to seeing at the front over the past few years, that takes a lot of credit. CGP Racing. I'm not really sure. I'd say probably the midfielders we're used to seeing them for CGP. I believe we might have James coming in. So CGP Racing, I'd say probably maybe getting points if they're lucky, but probably midfield. Mossad, I think they could struggle this weekend, considering this is the exact track that's their weak point with their power unit. Well, not their power unit, their engine. They just can't get the Dork engine to work in conjunction with the car. So we could we're getting James into the conversation now. Alright?
Yeah.
Just going through team by team at the moment, and at the moment I'm at now Willspin Lockie. What do you think of their chances going into this weekend?
I think this actually might be quite a strong track for them. I think they could be quite strong here. I think they've got reasonable downforce on the car, maybe just not the development that they want.
Yeah, they haven't been able to develop their car because of their ongoing issues.
Yeah, but I think this track will be the one that the chassis suits, so I think they'll be quite good round here.
Where can you see Shantana being this weekend?
I don't think they'll really be anywhere. They've got the wrong power unit really for a track like this. But,
yeah, but they do have the upgrade. They were going to get the upgrade in Valencia, but they have it. But it's been delayed till Hungary in a couple of weeks' time. So,
yeah, I think.
Where do you see that upgrade putting Shantana?
I think probably they'll be looking to go ahead of Mossad and Willspin Lockie, won't they? Really.
Yeah.
At the minute, they're just behind them. I think they'll want to.
Yeah, they haven't got any points yet. They just haven't had a good year so far, have they?
No, Zach Sadiq's had a lot of incidents as well. So.
Yeah. HWR, where can you see them being?
I think they'll just be in their usual position, really, just ahead of Speedtech. Yeah, I think they'll be just ahead of Speed Tech, but I think Speed Tech will give them a little bit more of a hard time than they have recently.
Yeah, Speed Tech. Who do you think has? Would you say HWR have a slightly quicker car than Speed Tech?
Yeah, very slightly. It's pretty close, but I think it's very slightly. It might be
Yeah.
due to the engine. I think that engine might be the slight difference between the two cars.
Yeah, HWR and Speed Tech kind of seem like Cater and Marussia, don't they? From all those years.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah,
think HWR've got slightly better drivers as well.
but I think the advantage that Marussia had was they had a star driver in Joel Bianchi. Obviously, we hope that he recovers, even if the chances are small, don't we, James?
Yeah, there's always still something there.
Yeah, but as I was saying, HWR I think have a driver who's of that caliber. I think they have George Chandler, who I think is kind of the thing that's giving the driver that's giving HWR the advantage.
Yeah, and Harry Williams has been pretty good as well. Actually, they've been reasonably similar on pace. So yeah, they got two good drivers there. I think Speed Tech, James Casey's consistent but not too quick.
Yeah, Everson seems to be okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't help himself by holding up front runners, and that slows him down.
I'm surprised
himself.
he didn't get any penalties for what. None of his incidents were investigated on Sunday. From Sunday, weren't, because he was being a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to. I think the KSR. I've actually had a word with him to just move over when letting other cars through rather than just slow down on the racing line, which has been what's causing problem. But I think backmarkers may not be as much of a problem as they have been this weekend, considering there are plenty of places that a driver can move over.
It's a very wide track as well, so
yeah, Silverstone. And I think it could be interesting, this race, can't it?
Yeah, definitely. There's as I said, I think the outer track will be clear, but
also now here comes the we're also, I'd say, we're into the CRC city season at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, we sure are.
Yeah, I think whilst we're in this preview stream, we should actually maybe put in a prediction of what we see the 2016 driver lineup being.
Okay.
And now I'm actually going to put it on the screen now, this Google Drive document. And I'm also going to obviously share it with you, James, as well.
Yep.
Because we're into this part of the season. But what even for the teams that have their drivers confirmed, we should really talk them through as well, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Now, Yanasa Roca, it was announced after Canada that they will be remaining with SC and Alex Moores. Do you see them staying up front next year?
Yeah, I think there will be. Obviously, we're in discussions at the moment in the strategy group about the cars for next season, and obviously that will be a big part in whether they keep it. But they'll definitely still be strong. I would expect them to be clear, but probably by not as much as this year.
Yeah. And who would you expect to be giving them a run for their money then for next year?
I think we'll see the return of Dork. I know they've done okay this season, but I think the full return of them and Coombs GP, I reckon, will make a step up again.
Coombs GP is going to be an interesting one because obviously, but now we actually go on to Dork at the moment. Do you see them staying where they are this year? From this year, do you see them being better in comparison to Yanasa Roca?
Yeah, they'll stay with that lineup, and it's a strong lineup.
Yeah, both drivers are contracted for next year. Doesn't necessarily mean it's definitely they're going to be there, but I really do not see it changing.
No, they've been in the team for a long time. They are the backbone of that team, really. They're kind of what makes Dork, aren't they?
Yeah. So that's Dork. Obviously they expect to challenge at the front. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Masterforce. There are rumours they were going to sign a driver, but who do you think they're going to sign on their team for next year?
Jones is a definite.
Yeah, I don't see Jones leaving. I think Jones is probably going to stay. What about? Do you see Milner staying?
I think he will. I think he'll just survive, but
I mean, he has been a bit unlucky this year, hasn't he? So far,
yeah,
in
yeah.
comparison,
I mean,
I'd say he
he's
has
like-
been on the pace of his teammate. Just had quite a few strings of bad luck.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I think he'll
to
stay.
be honest, I think Master Force's lineup will stay as it is in next year.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah.
Next up, Coombs GP. This is where it gets really interesting because they said they'd sign an experienced driver because we know that Tucson's leaving them at the end of the year. They said that they'd sign an experienced driver and a rookie driver when they confirmed they were going to retain. Do you see Coombs staying next year?
Yeah, I think so, but I reckon he'll be under threat from Kieran Hardy. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I reckon Kieran Hardy might want to jump ship.
But at the moment,
after-
he is contracted to Guindana, Kieran Hardy is, for next year.
I think he. But obviously, if they do keep and hold on to him, I think obviously Coombs will stay then. But I reckon Hardy will be wanting to go to Coombs GP.
Yeah, especially since the season he's had.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he'll want to change. I think.
Yeah, who do you think is going to be the rookie driver alongside him?
I think it'll probably be. I'm not sure. Who's
I mean,
ahead
because
of
at the
him?
moment at Coombs Academy, they have Bayliss on their team, Bayliss and Beaumont, but they haven't in CGP2 so far. I don't really think that they're judging by. I mean, they're fast, but judging by how they don't seem to be consistent yet.
No.
To be honest, I don't really think that the likes of Bayliss or Bowman are ready for CRC yet. Will be ready for
No.
next year. But they said they're going to promote a rookie driver. Who can
Well,
you see getting that drive?
They would want it to be Beaumont and Bayliss, but I reckon they'll go for probably someone like Legit, maybe right at the top
Yeah.
of GP2.
Actually, I can see this happening. I think O'Driscoll could get that
yeah,
drive.
O'Driscoll, yeah.
Yeah.
O'Driscoll.
I can see that happening. Obviously, she didn't have a good weekend in Monaco, but I think that she has shown that she is ready for CRC. Obviously, we need to see how well she does for the rest of the year, but I think we could easily see Rosie in that Coombs GP car next year.
Yeah.
Do you agree with
quite a
that?
few who go for that. Yeah. I think she would be a good one, yeah.
Yeah, and also with Tucson, where would Tucson go?
I reckon he's going to take a punt and try and get into the MAT team. I reckon
Yeah,
he's gonna
there
go
have
there.
been rumours that he could take a year sabbatical and focus attention on running Mossad.
Yeah. I don't really see how that would help him. I think he'll want to be in the car, I'm sure.
Yeah, there have been rumours of Hardy leaving his contract at Guindana, but at the moment, I don't see that happening if that Coombs GP lineup is going to stay.
Yeah, and if he went to Coombs, it wouldn't be a massive step forward, it would be kind of sidestepping, really.
Yeah. Now let's look at Baronasso. Where do you see them going with their lineup for next year?
That's tough, because I would have said that Buckens massively outperformed Woodward, but Woodward had a really good weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be honest, I really do not see that changing from what they've currently got, because I think they've got quite a strong lineup.
Yeah. Well, they're two solid drivers.
Yeah, because Lucy Woodward, I think the trouble you have with Woodward is she when there's a car that's like out of her depth, as you'd say, she'd take time to get used to it, because we saw this last year with the Ghost Speed being quite a different car to what she drove before. But in 2013, she had a very good year, did Lucy?
Mm.
She was easily best out of the non-front runners in 2013. Obviously, the transition from Ghost Speed to Baronasso would have been just as big as the transition between the cars.
Yeah.
So, I think that we will still see them as they are. Now,
Yeah.
Guindana. This is interesting because both have contracted drivers, but there have been rumours of both or Gindana, either Gindana or one of the drivers breaking their contract. So where do you
Yeah.
see them going with this?
Yeah, I think it's Hardy might be wanting to leave. Baldwin might be dropped.
Yeah.
Kind of going that way because
I
Baldwin
think-
has that podium in Canada, but hasn't done
Yeah.
much else.
I think Hardy's going to stay. I think he's kind of trapped, to be honest, at Gindana.
Yeah, trapped. is a
I
good
think
word,
you
yeah.
have to say that he's not really got anywhere to go, anywhere else
No.
to go. I think he's kind of trapped. And
Yeah.
do you see Baldwin staying?
I think Baldwin will go. I think
Yeah.
Baldwin will go, and they'll bring.
Maybe
I
they
reckon-
could bring Tucson in at that.
They could, yeah, Tussin or
Yeah, they have-
Mungall,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, but the trouble with that is, I mean, Tucson and Hardy didn't like not get along as teammates in 2012, but Tucson was quite suspicious about the team favouring Hardy over Tucson. But do you see that? Do you see that working out, considering his history of being teammates with Hardy? Not necessarily saying they don't get along as teammates, but do you see that working out?
Yeah, I think the thing is that if Hardy's thinking about leaving, then Gindan will probably keep him in by saying we'll give you preferential treatment, and then Tussin won't be happy with that. So I don't think that would happen, but it's a possibility. But
Yeah. Where would you, if they ditch Baldwin and don't put Tucson in, who do you think they'd put in?
I could see someone like them nicking someone like Mungall maybe trying to
Yeah.
sign him or something.
Yeah, but I think we could maybe put that as a star or like an asterisk, because I think the trouble with that is then how would that work out considering his history? But
It could they could go with Alan Oakley from CGP2.
to be honest,
possibly.
I think if the lineup is like this, I can see that working out because I think Hardy would decide to stay because he wouldn't really have anywhere else to go. So that's Gindana. We can see. So now the next team, Tove. Where do you see them going with this?
Well, I think if Mungall doesn't get snatched up by a better team, he'll stay. They'll want Mungall.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll drop Bland. I thought he was doing quite well, but in qualifying he's always low down. I've never
Yeah.
seen him above 16th.
It's clear that Mungall seems to have the upper hand over Bland, but
Yeah.
in the races, Bland seems to come strong.
Yeah.
Can you see him? Can you see him staying?
I can see him staying, but I can see him going as well. I think he'll end up leaving. I reckon Tove. Now that they've gone up the field, they'll want to sign a bigger driver.
Yeah. Who would they sign though?
I reckon they'll go with someone young, possibly someone. Or maybe they could get one of the Mossad drivers, maybe.
Yeah,
They're not gonna be
that
happy,
could
are they?
work. That could work. Maybe Harvey Williams. That I can see that Harvey Williams. I can see that working out. That's a strong lineup.
Yeah, that's a very good team. Yeah.
Yeah, and we know that Bland is actually part of running the team. And we know so with him running the team and Munger and Williams, maybe with Bland as reserve driver and as the overseer of the team, that would probably work quite well.
Yeah, I think they'd be very happy with that. It'd be a good step forward. They've gone up the field. So
Yeah, after
time to
being
get
back
moved on.
markers for the past 3 years, now they're midfield. They've gone up the field.
And Williams is going to be someone who's unhappy at the moment. So
Yeah, he's really not had the season that he wants so far, has he?
no.
Trying to remember what the next team is. Just going to get the constructors order up.
I think it's RTS.
Yeah, RTS. Where do you see them going with this?
I think Humphreys will stay, but I'm not sure about Morrow.
Yeah,
I don't-
Morrow is experienced. She has got the experience.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those ones where I can see her staying, I can see her going.
Yeah, so Humphreys at RTS, I can see that happening. But do you think they could maybe go for a CGP2 driver?
Yeah, I reckon they might do. I
Yeah.
think they'd try and get, again, someone like Legit maybe, or...
Yeah, what about O'Connor? Can you see her getting that seat?
Yeah. O'Connor, yeah, I think O'Connor, put her in.
Yeah, I think that would work. That would be a decent lineup. Because do you remember there was rumours that O'Connor was going to go to Speed Tech for this year?
Yeah.
That in the end didn't happen, but Humphreys and O'Connor, because O'Connor, I think the reason why she didn't, because she decided that she wanted to stay in CGP2 and get a better seat in 2016 than the Speedtech. And
Well,
I
that's
think
a
that
good
would
seat,
that would pay off for her if she could get that seat at RTS.
Yeah,
So I think, can you see that work? So I can see that working. Can you?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So now, what about DMAD Engineering? It's going to be that isn't. I mean, they haven't officially confirmed any of their drivers, but there's rumours that they're going to sign Phillips for next year.
Yeah, as good as signed Phillips, really. So Phillips will definitely be in there.
Yeah. Do you see Quintanilla staying?
I think Quintalino will stay.
Yeah.
Again, I think he's slightly trapped, but he'll be happy there. He's
Yeah, especially the drive he pulled off in Valencia. So
Yeah.
shall we settle at that?
yeah,
Quintanilla and Phillips. Now CGP Racing, that obviously haven't officially confirmed anyone, but they seem to be wanting to sign Julian for 2016. Can you see that happening?
well, yeah. If he's going to come in a few races, if he performs, he'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. And who do you see them getting alongside Julian?
Well, they've got James Casey on loan at Speedtech, who they would quite like, but I think Minto would be the better option. I think they're going to stay with Minto. Or
Yeah.
they could, if Wondergola doesn't want to be a reserve driver at DMAG Engineering, they could get him.
Yeah, I think
Special.
that I can see that working.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll work?
Yeah, I think either Minto, Rondogala, Casey's in the running, but probably Rondogala and Minto.
Yeah. So now, what about this MAT Mossad?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. I mean, they've got Leggett on loan in CGP2 at the moment. Can you see? So can you see her driving for them?
Yeah, I could. I think, as I mentioned earlier, I think Tussin might go there, but if he's going to Gindana, then Leggett would be a good option.
Yeah. Who do you see going alongside her then? Because they say they want an experienced driver.
I think they'll stay with. I think Joshua Moores will keep it. He
Yeah.
doesn't go anywhere else.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Because he's too good to let him go out the sport, isn't he? Really? So
Yeah, he is good. He is a good driver, Joshua Moores is. He just hasn't
shown
really
us-
had the car.
Yeah.
And now, this is an interesting one, because of Will Spin Lockie and their financial issues. Do you see, obviously they'd be Lockie, do you see them making it to next year?
I don't think they'll make it. No, I don't think they'll make it.
Yeah. But providing if they do, what do you think, lineup do you think they'd go with?
I think Carrie Ann Peace will be. I reckon someone else will take Carrie Ann Peace.
But I think Kerry Ann Peace has outpaced Farrah Smith so far this year.
Yeah, I reckon another team will try and steal her and try and get her as a reserve driver or something. And they might not be able to hold on to her.
But I'd say, do you see Farrah Smith staying?
I don't think they would want Farrah Smith, but I don't think anyone else will want to join them, because if they do make it onto the grid, they'll be rubbish, won't they? So,
But we have no idea yet. But how about this? Hyde, at the moment, Formula Renault Championship leader.
Yeah.
Can you see that happening?
yeah, he could. Yeah, if he, it's a big jump up, but yeah, I reckon that.
We
could
saw,
happen.
yeah, we have seen Formula Renault champions graduate in the past, like Dan Phillips from last
Yeah.
year. So can you see? So I guess we could see Hyde
Yeah.
in that car.
It could stay the same, or it could change a lot. It could be a completely different
Yeah.
lineup.
Yeah, I think I don't see where else Peace would go.
Mm.
You finish now, please.
Almost finished. I don't see where else.
Will you finish now, please?
I'm just finishing the end of this lineup. Yeah, I don't see where else Peace would go. So
No.
that is Lockie. So only obviously we're not expecting sister teams to remain next year. So what about HWR? So there's two more teams. We've kind of got to rush now because it's 10 o'clock, but got to rush this through. We can talk about CGP2 tomorrow, but
Williams will stay.
yeah, Harry Williams.
I reckon Chandler will probably stay as well. Chandler will want to go to a
Yeah.
bigger team, but
Yeah, Chandler, I think many believe is a wasted talent back there in an HWR because obviously we saw how good he is in the CGP2, and
Yeah.
we've actually seen he's kind of a Bianchi-esque driver because he just seems to be outperforming the car. The way he got it to 11th in Malaysia.
yeah.
So I think he'll be wanting to move up a team, but I just don't see how that would happen. And finally, Speedtech. Where do you see them going?
I think I reckon James Casey will stay.
And what about Everson?
I reckon he'll go. They'll go with someone from CGP2. I reckon.
Yeah, who do you see that being?
I'm not sure. Maybe someone like Joshua Suttil.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't see a good CGP2 driver really wanting to go to a small team like that.
Remember, there's that top 12 limit.
Oh yeah, top 12. He's around about that, isn't he? So.
Yeah, but he's not even been in since he only joined since Turkey. He only scored points. Now I'm just looking at the standings now just to see who we'd put in that seat.
You might be able to get.
Without Oakley, maybe.
Yeah, it could be Oakley. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe James Lang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Oh, yeah, that's a better
Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm now just before we wrap up, I just need to take you through the all-important times for this weekend. We have the action kicking off tomorrow with practice at 16:30. Obviously, this is all on the CRC site at the moment. And then we have CGP2 practice session. I need to be really quick with this. Session starts with the session starting at 17:15. And then we have CRC practice 2 on Friday at 15:30 with CGP2 qualifying at 16:15. CGP3 practice at 17:10. Then on Saturday, we have CGP3 qualifying at 10 with practice 3, CRC practice 3 at 11 with Classics qualifying at 12. CRC qualifying at 14:00. CGP2 feature at 16:00 and then CGP3 race 1 at 17:30. Then on Sunday we have the CGP race 2 at 12:20, CGP2 sprint at 13:35, CRC classics at 14:55, and we are scheduled for a 4:30 race start in the afternoon, same as Valencia with a stream starting at 15:50. Anyway, that is it from the preview stream, and we'll see you tomorrow for the start of the action at Silverstone for practice 1. Goodbye.